Hey guys, Ryan here. I'm coming back at you with another installment of Ryan's Cinematic Obsessions. And thank you for being patient with me in regards to these videos. As some of you guys may know by watching my last video, there's a passing of somebody very close to me, and so I was kind of going through the mourning process with my family, and thank you for not getting angry at me for not putting out another video quick. Today is Thursday, and Halloween, I think, is Monday, and that means I have a lot of videos to pump out until then. And so, just so you know, not only am I filming this, but I'm filming like 5 other videos at the same time, and I'm going to be putting them on, or uploading them onto YouTube. I'm going to do 2 today, and 1 tomorrow, 2 the next day, 1, so on and so forth. And I'm going to get all my videos done for the series so I could jump back on some other series. I got a lot of great things I want to share with you guys, videos I want to do, and so on and so forth. And so, as I said before, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be talking about more than just one movie, one film in each of the videos. Instead of doing just one, I'm going to do probably, I think, 3 or 4 today. And so, I guess I'll go ahead and start with Phantom of the Opera, starring Lon Chaney. And this film was amazing. I got my notes to the side of things I really wanted to say. So, one of the things I really loved about the film was it was silent. It was a silent film. It came out in 1925, and the makeup, for one, I'll get to that in a second. The makeup was amazing, but was the sets. It was very dark, very atmospheric, like a lot of these movies I'm going to be talking about are, but it was different. It was a lot different than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be way more of, fake looking sets, but it was very dark. It was a very dark film, and for those of you who don't know the story of Phantom of the Opera, there's this girl, and there's a phantom, like a myth phantom that's living in an opera house, and I don't want to give it a lot away because I don't want to blow it, but you guys gotta see this film. Universal made it after they made Hunchback of Notre Dame, and with the success of that, they said, well, why don't we just go full force into this horror genre? And so they took Phantom of the Opera, based off a book, and made it into a movie, and it was a massive, massive success. And a lot of that was due to the performance of Lon Chaney, and his makeup is extraordinary. There is a scene where, he's wearing, you can't see his face, he's wearing something over his face, and the girl snatches it off of his face, and it's a famous shot now of, his ugly, grotesque looking face. But it is so shocking, because the second it comes off his face, it's like this, and then he's like, it's insane looking. And if you guys don't want to watch that, I'm sure you can look it up on YouTube. It's awesome, and the makeup is just amazing. And it's a great film. It was, I've seen the musical multiple times in Broadway, and I've seen the new movie, but I haven't seen without the music. And so I was really happy to see that. And so after, this film came out, it was a massive success, they started, doing more of the horror genre. And the next one they did was Frankenstein and Dracula. Dracula came first. Dracula came in early 1931. And Dracula, it was the first time I've ever seen this version. The first time I've ever seen it. And it was amazing. And I've always loved Bela Lugosi, but I've never seen this film. I always loved him in The Devil Bat, which is a great horror flick if you want to see it. It's very cheesy. And I got started to get fascinated by him after I saw Ed Wood, Tim Burton's Ed Wood, for the first time. And where it talked about later in life he was friends with Ed Wood. He was starring in some of his movies for basically nothing, and he was this old washed up star. And so I was like, man, I need to go back and visit this guy's movies. And I saw like The Devil Bat, White Zombie, which is a great film, and I don't know why I've never seen Dracula. and I watched it, and I watched the version with the new score done by Philip Glass, and it was awesome. It's for those of you guys who don't know, it's about a man who goes to Count Dracula's mansion, and they got some kind of real estate deal going on, but as you could tell, since it's a horror film, I'm not going to tell how, but next thing you know, this real estate guy is now basically a slave of Count Dracula, and it's amazing. The music is amazing. The sets are very atmospheric and smoky and foggy, but the thing that's lacking with this film is a great transfer. I think all the original copies of the film are completely vanished. They're no longer available, and so the best prints that we have are restored prints from reproduction, and they're very bad reproductions. And that was the only thing. But then that was the only thing that wasn't all that great about it. But the reason why I let it slide is because it kind of added to the atmosphere of the film, the grittiness and the horror of the film. So I definitely recommend that. And now to my all-time favorite horror classics, as you guys could tell by the introduction of this, is Frankenstein, directed by James Whale, starring Boris Karloff, Colin Clive, I think is his name, and it was amazing the first time I saw it. I was very, as I said before, I was kind of uneasy at the beginning of the film because it's very different. It really starts out kind of slow. You don't really know, when is Frankenstein gonna be? When is Frankenstein gonna be Frankenstein? The Frankenstein that invents this awesome monster that's crazy. And so, yes, Colin Clive was his name. I just looked at my notes. He's the actor who plays Frankenstein, and Boris Karloff plays the monster. And this film is so simple, and it's so thrilling, but it's not thrilling in the sense, because there's no score to the film. It's kind of based off your own emotion, which can make or break this film for you. And enjoyment is getting used to the fact that there's no score. There's a credits music. There's music that goes over the opening credits, but that's it. But it's a very, very well done film. I personally like it better than Bride of Frankenstein. I like Bride of Frankenstein. Bride of Frankenstein is my second favorite horror movie classic, but I like the first one better because it's the first one I saw, and so I definitely enjoyed that. And if you want to hear more in depth about that movie, I go over it a lot in the introduction of this series. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on. And the next one I want to talk about is The Mummy, which came out in 1932 and starred Boris Karloff. And this one is pretty cool because at the time that I rewatched this again for the first time in years, in my class, in the history class that I'm one of the teachers of, we were talking about ancient Egypt. And this film is about, basically archaeologists that are trying to uncover all these mysteries of ancient Egypt, and there's a mummy that they revive, or they don't revive him, they dig up his corpse and everything like that, and they start opening stuff, and it's one of those things to where they open up the wrong thing and the mummy comes to life. It's a very fun film, and I highly recommend it if you're interested in Boris Karloff films and with films that have to do with ancient Egypt. So I highly recommend those. And I also, I can't get into it in this video because I want to kind of keep it short, but you guys got to see all these movies. I'm not trying to rush through this. I'm just trying to recommend as many as possible and show you my appreciation for them by saying I like them and I'm recommending them to you. And all these films that I've talked about right now are my favorite ones out of all of them. So you definitely need to see each and every one of these. And so until next time, guys, in the next series I'm going to start with The Invisible Man. So remember, there's 3 ways of doing things: the right way, the wrong way, and the chat away. Stay positive. See you guys.